Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Today we will be talking about the cross-country season, and with me is Elliott Blount, the head coach of the cross-country team. Elliott, thanks for joining me here today.
Thanks for having me.
And cross-country, getting things started once again. There's some local competitions that we'll talk about in a little bit, but just real quick, how do you feel going into this preseason? Got things starting off here pretty quick for you guys. So.
Yeah, I feel pretty good this year. Last 2 years I knew it would be a lot of work, just kind of changing the culture, getting the right pieces in. But now I think we have everything in place. A little young on the men's side last year. They're a year older. We didn't lose anybody, which was good. And on the women's side, we have 6 seniors that are going to toe the line for us this year. So they're a little bit long in the tooth, but I think with their experience will come, a pretty good season.
And obviously, as someone who's relatively new to Troy as you are, there's those growing pains that you've had to deal with. And you mentioned that there, getting the new system in. So are you starting to see that maybe your system is coming into play and you're going to see a little bit more success out of it this season?
Yeah, that's the plan. Obviously, to improve upon last year's successes, and we did have some successes. And I think the biggest change we're going to see is just the mindset. We weren't consistent, enough or as we needed to be to really, match up with some of the conference talent. But this year, I think we made a concerted effort over the summer. They had a summer reading project in which we read The Art of War by Sun Tzu, and to get everybody like-minded. And I think that really galvanized the group and to do some good things this year.
To really attack.
Exactly. The warrior spirit.
The warrior spirit. Hey, well, there you go. So, and let's talk a little about your first meet. You're hitting the road, not too far up the road for your first run this weekend. Talk about that.
So Jacksonville State's hosting the Strut season opener. We went there last year, had a pretty good showing. It's a 5K and a 4K for the men and women respectively. It's a good way to kind of get their feet wet. We do have some freshmen that will be competing this year, so it's nice to kind of get them acclimated a little bit, slower with a distance that they're a little bit more comfortable with. We're just looking for some good competition and some competitive times early on in the season.
And of course, you're hitting the road, but there's a lot of opportunities for some home running,
right.
Which you haven't really had a chance to do. You're going to have how many times you're going to host some runs?
We're going to host 2 regular season meets, and then we're going to host a conference meet, the Sun Belt Conference Championships there. So down on our Dothan campus, which would be pretty exciting. I think that kind of added to the energy of the group, knowing that we have to kind of defend our home turf, and with the reading that we did, and just the day-to-day little things that we're paying attention to. I think a little bit more carefully this year is going to have a huge impact on our performances.
And of course, and the fact that that your team actually gets a chance to run on the home course, which is something that you haven't had an opportunity to have yet.
It's home field advantage. It's home field advantage. We went down there last Saturday, had a great workout down there. It was kind of, it was our first real effort of the season, which we ran the whole course, and I think it went really well. Got the team really excited. We went and barbecued at Director Davis's house afterwards. So we're really trying to make that, a team atmosphere and a family atmosphere, and hopefully that will show up, on the course.
And talking about the course at Dothan, and because obviously, and for the folks at Dothan, they get a chance to see a team there in their backyard. But talk about the course and how it's kind of laid out, and what you're expecting out of there. So
me and Coach Davis, me and Mark, we were down there all summer, back and forth probably twice a week, just trying to make sure the specifications were up to snuff as far as the NCAA and the Sun Belt wanted. It's a relatively flat course. It's going to be great for viewers. So if you want to come out, we only have like a mile in the backwoods. The other 3 and 4 mile race, parts of the race will be, excellent for viewing. And I think it's going to be, it's a fair course, but we're going to have a little bit of an advantage having been down there a few more times than our competitors.
Than the other folks out there.
Absolutely.
Of course, and at the Dothan campus, it's got some big sprawling, fields and stuff out there that if anyone's never seen it before, they might even not know it's kind of nestled back in there.
Absolutely. So if you're driving down 231 and, just before you hit Ross Clark Circle, excuse me, you'll see that the big expanses of land is where we start and finish the races.
Yes.
It should be a nice little curb appeal for Troy. Get some traffic onto the Troy Dothan campus. And then we have this excellent backwoods trail. It's covered in trees, so if it does get a little bit warm, like that'll be a part of the race where we can kind of cool down. And
And once again, that home field advantage, get down there.
I
And
love
when's the first time folks can see y'all race down in
September
Dothan?
24th, Saturday, September 24th. It's going to be the Trojan Cross Country Invitational.
Okay.
And then about 3 weeks after that, we're going to go down. Sorry, 2 weeks after that, we're going to go back down there for the 15th for the Doc Anderson Wiregrass Invitational.
Oh, so honoring Doc Anderson for a
Absolutely.
race, obviously.
Absolutely.
The guy who's meant so much to the program, and
Of course.
get a chance to have a race in his honor down there. Then the last time, you guys are hosting the Sun Belt Tournament, so it's going to be pretty exciting time for the Trojan cross country team this season. So
I look forward to it.
Well, we look forward to seeing some success this year from you guys.
Thank you.
As always, thanks for joining us. So
Appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Aaron.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk.